go. So now we're recording. Okay, so it's kind of an interesting time to do a meeting, but it's the time. Heidi's on the East Coast. So we had to kind of work around holiday schedule and the fact that Heidi's East Coast. I am recording the meeting and we will open this up to, let me invite other people in who are in the waiting room. There we go, more people. Yes, we had nearly 20 people respond saying they wanted to. Oh, we've got feedback. So I'm going to mute everybody. Take care of that. So everybody knows we're going to get started here in just a minute or two, and I am going to record the meeting. And at the end of Heidi's presentation, we'll open it up for a Q&A. And so at that point, we'll probably just unmute all the phones. And if we get feedback, we'll try to figure out where the feedback's coming from. Hopefully you don't have more than one device on at the same time. So just 1 second, we'll get everything started. Okay. One more minute and we'll start. Okay. Getting pretty close here. Okay, hey, welcome everybody to this special Sphere payment processing service training. We have a special guest today that's really been helping a lot of the members of the team. Oh, by the way, can everybody hear me? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Please, there we go. Okay, can hear me. Want to make sure of that. I am recording this because there are some people that are at work, so they can't participate. So we'll record it and send it to let the people who are at work have the link to the recording. But I think this is probably a good presentation, a good training to take notes off of. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about Sphere from my perspective. You know, Sphere is one of those services that we have available to us as we build ACN that has all kinds of benefits. The fact that it has 6 points, it comes with 6 points, meaning, can you imagine this? If you get 10 Sphere customers, you've unlocked all the residual income that we have in ACN. So Sphere is really one of those services we want to focus on, learn more about, and get good at it. And one of the other great benefits with Sphere has to do with the way we can create proposals for Sphere, and that is when you're talking to a friend who's a merchant, a restaurant, a hairdresser, barber, insurance company, whoever you might be doing business with. But one of the other great benefits is you can challenge them and say, hey, let me have a shot at earning your payment processing business. And just for doing a proposal, if we can't meet or beat what you're using currently, we will pay you $250, and our parent company will also, or Sphere will also pay the IBO $250. Now you can combine that, make that a $500 incentive for your merchant friend, or you can just kind of quietly keep that $250 for yourself. But I think in most cases, you're going to find that Sphere is able to meet or beat what they're currently using. And that in the long term is a huge benefit for all of us. So, so pay attention today, take some notes. I've asked Heidi Rockhold, who's an account executive with Sphere, to share with us some of her viewpoints, some of her expertise, her experience, and she's going to help us learn what we need to do to take the leads that we submit and turn these leads into proposals, and to get those leads in front of our prospective Sphere users more quickly. So I think one of the hangups I've seen happen with this particular service is people not submitting the leads properly, so they take way too long to actually formulate into a proposal. So without further ado, I want to introduce our friend, our Sphere expert, Heidi Rockhold, who's been with Sphere for some time now. And she has really been helpful to a lot of the people on the team. And for Judy and I, we really appreciate her being willing to help us whenever we reach out to her. And we have some great pointers to learn from Heidi today. So without any more ado, I'm going to introduce to you Ms. Heidi Rockhold. Take it away, Heidi.
Hi, everyone. How many do we have on with us right now, Jeff?
We have 16 right now.
Awesome.
Heidi.
Well, welcome, everybody. I can't see everybody, but unfortunately, I do work from home. So, when you work from home, you dress home appropriate. So, I have to kind of excuse the unprofessionalism there, but, it is what it is. So, yeah, thanks. I was happy to do this. I kind of suggested it to Jeff to maybe help out a little bit by going over some pointers, just a real quick insight on myself. I have been in the merchant processing industry for about 13 years. I have been with Sphere for a year, and I have learned a lot. I learn something new every day. There's something different that comes along that I'm like, really? So I do have to do research still myself. I don't know it all. I don't claim to, but I do my best to get the knowledge to you that I possibly can when I need to. So, again, I am here for you. I do have one phone line with me working from home, so sometimes reaching me by phone can be more complicated. If you do need to get in touch with me, a lot of times sending me a quick email gives me the opportunity to reach right back to you immediately versus trying to wait for a return call. So I'll give you all that information before we hang up, but that kind of just gives you a little bit of insight on me. So I do have 3 screens. Unfortunately, the one that's going to have everything I need is on the other side, so I'll be looking away from there, so I'm not trying to be rude, but you're going to get my profile side of the right. Enjoy. And then I'll look back and through for you. So a lot of things, and again, here's one of these great examples. This is something that I just found myself today. A lot of what I do, I've been trying to send information and keep everybody updated, but this is like the best thing in the world is this compass that, again, I myself just learned about today. So here we go. So I know everybody has access to this. Of course, it has all the information. Since Long Beach is up right now, just kind of want to make sure that everybody knows to definitely go by our booth. There are several representatives that are there from Sphere. They're there the whole entire day. They have every kind of literature you can think of. There's business cards. Ask for mine. But they do have flyers to hand out to you to be able to give to merchants that you're going and talking to. So it is very informative. Please make sure you do go by and get some of that information. A lot of times during the conference as well, the point value does go up. Last time when the one I went to in California, the point value was 10 points. So you got to keep an eye on things like that. Make sure you go by and let them kind of inform you of what's going on for the month of December, because they have not told me yet. They will announce that at the conference. So please keep your ears open to see what the point value will be for the month of December. Okay? So on your compass here, if you basically go to products, and then once you're at products, go down to business. And then once you go to business, you have payment processing. So remember, product, business, payment processing, click on that. And man, does this open up a big world here. So there are several videos to be able to watch. Latest payment processing news. This is the one that's going on now where you get a $100 bonus for new acceptors. That's just for businesses that are brand new that have never taken credit cards before. We want them just like we want the big $10,000 plus merchants. The new ones are the best ones to have because they need equipment. They need all of these things, and that's where you build the biggest rapport is on a brand new business because you're the first person that's approached them. You're the first person they're going to open up to, and you're the first person they're going to give their business to. So don't ever shy away from a brand new business. If you see one going up, keep an eye on it so you can make sure you're that person that hits them the first time to talk to them. Okay? But anyway, it has the videos that you can go and watch. Again, here's just the meet or beat opportunity. Make sure you always promote that. Be careful on that. I want to make sure that everybody understands on the meet or beat, they have to be processing $3,000 a month in volume, and they must provide you with a statement. That is the only way that they do qualify for the meet or beat. If they're a brand new business, it does not apply. They have to be processing $3,000 a month in volume a month more to have that qualify. So please make sure. You'd be surprised how many times I have an unhappy merchant calling me on the phone asking me where their $250 is. Then I have to explain to them, and then all of a sudden the reputation of Sphere has gone down because the IPO did not make sure they understood and expressed it to that customer well enough to know what it actually means. So please educate yourself on that before you promote it, okay? Then you're going to see here for October, it was 6 points. Again, it changes. So this latest payment processing news section is extremely important. Every month, make sure you go here so you can see what your points are for the next month, okay? Then right here is perfect training. These are all types of videos. They are in either a PDF form, they're either in PowerPoint, whatever the case be. These are all, and we're going to look at the overview here in just a minute. But these little links right here are amazing. They are everything you would need. It has cash advance flyers, the point, which is the wireless unit, ShopKeep. Try to steer away from that if you can. We'll talk about that in a minute. Swipe Simple. I mean, this literally goes in. There's the meet or beat. There's the Vital Mobile. Those are the newest products that we have is these two right here, the Vital Sales Click and the Mobile. They are a point of sale system that I prefer over ShopKeep just because ShopKeep charges the customer a monthly fee and Vital does not. So try to stay away from ShopKeep if you possibly can. But again, these are all in PDFs. I mean, you can bring them up. Hopefully this will come up on my screen, which it looks like it is. And it gives you all this type of information. So these are extremely valuable. And again, I am beside myself that I have found these today. I did not know it existed. Tess updates these on a regular basis. Don't laugh at me, Jeff.
Sorry.
Tess does go in and update these on a regular basis. So you are always up to date on what's going on. Okay? Very, very important. I'm going to go ahead and open up this overview. Oh, and it came up on this screen. Can you see it on this screen? Thumbs up, Jeff, if you can see it. Nope. All right, I'm moving over here. Can you see it now?
Not yet.
No? You can't see it?
No.
It's not even giving me the opportunity to share. Yeah, it's not even, hang on. Can you see it now?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it is not giving me the opportunity to share this. However, that's the great thing about, can you see my screen now again?
Yep. See your screen.
Okay, so let me try the PDF and see if that will come up.
There we go.
Is the PDF coming up?
It's loading.
Okay. Yeah, the PowerPoint wasn't coming up. It wasn't, the share button was in gray, so it wasn't letting me bring it up.
Right.
But again, these are available to you at any time. Okay, can you see this?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, these are available to you at any time. Just remember, all you got to do is click that link. And I highly recommend to just go back to these and go back to them and look at them and review them, because every day you're going to see something that you thought you knew and you didn't. So it's something always good to go back and see. So basically, it's just going in, letting you know who we are, at. You know, we're in several different areas. We market in U.S., Canada, Australia. Again, I work from Kentucky, so I am here, and work remotely. So we're a little bit of everywhere. This kind of goes in, talks about what we are, what we're doing. I mean, these are things that you can read over. I don't really want to focus on that because I really want us to go in and kind of talk about stuff. This is important to know. You know, there's 3 million merchants that are out there making decisions. You know, they're changing. Things come up, just like Judy was talking earlier. You know, you go in, you got somebody that's unhappy. You know, they haven't been able to get a customer service. Square is the worst one in the world. You can ask anybody that's using Square, what kind of response do you get when you call customer service and you have an issue? And their answer is going to be none, because there is no customer service number for Square. They have to send an email. And guess when they get a response? 9 times out of 10, never. So that's key. When somebody says, oh, I'm using Square, they're the greatest, blah, 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 blah. No, they're not. If you have an issue or a concern, you have no one you can talk to. Here, you have your own personal representative, which would be whoever the rep is that's working that account, me on these, that you can call immediately, and you can get that person on the phone, and you can get an answer, you know, or you can send them an email, and you're going to get an answer. So that's one of your kickbacks against Square, is that there absolutely is no customer service number to reach them. So again, the reason I mention that is because they're always going to be unhappy, and they're going to want somebody to talk to, and they have no one. Okay? Again, kind of like from what Jeff was talking about earlier on businesses, try to stay away from franchises. Franchises, it's not going to happen. You got to talk to corporate. You're not going to get corporate on the phone. There's no way you're ever going to sign a McDonald's, because those type of businesses all go together. And corporate, when a franchisee comes in, corporate already has it set up. You use this processor, you buy your food from this place, you do this, do that. You're not going to get into a franchise unless you actually know the owner. And if you do, then boy, we got some business to do. So just try to stay away from them, because 9 times out of 10, it's not going to happen. Top businesses, restaurants, hair salons, automotive. Automotive is probably the one that I have had the most success with, because they're the ones that are taking the most advantage of 90% of the time. And they are also the ones that people don't really focus on, because they're a little harder to get a hold of. But they're the ones that I'm typically able to bring aboard and have a business relationship with, because nobody else wants to take the time with them. So I love automotive. That's tires, that's service, that's brakes, whatever, transmission. Some of them are franchises, but most of them are mom and pop. So focus on the mom and pops. Those are the ones to go to. Medical can be a little bit more difficult. Can't get the doctor on the phone. He is the decision maker. A lot of times practice manager doesn't want to mess with you because she's also got a patient, but they are good ones to have. Problem with them is they do have a lot of what's called EMR, which is medical records that link into specific point of sales, and most of the time we're not compatible with them. So you can use them and go to them, but I don't know if I put most of my efforts into medical, because they are a little bit more difficult. And those are the kind of leads where Jeff was talking earlier, where you want to have a fast one. Those are definitely 30, 60, 90, 120, 20 leads, so 20-day leads. So just kind of remember that. Those take a lot longer, okay? This kind of gives you some examples of some of the products that we have. This is your point of sale. That's Swipe Simple. I'll send you a link to the Vital. This is just a wireless unit. This is your mobile readers with a printer, and that's your standard terminal. So those are typically most of the solutions that we have. Again, if somebody says they're using a point of sale, I need to know what they're using, because there's a lot of them out there, and we got to make sure we're compatible, okay? How to approach a merchant. This, I guess, probably a lot of what Judy's question was earlier. I think the key thing is you've got to understand, depending on what time of day you've gone, if you've gone more midday, 2 people have already gone before you. If you go after lunch, 2 more people are going to come in after you. Okay? It is a saturated business, and so therefore these merchants are contacted, especially the beginning of the year, especially April and October. That's when Visa and MasterCard have 2 rate increases a year. One's in April, one's in October. So that's when a lot of your feet on the street sales reps will come in and really start pushing people to talk to them. And they're going to be hit a lot by reps. So you got to make yourself different. You have to put yourself out there and be that person that they remember. You can't just be another person walking in the door saying, I'm trying to sell you merchant processing. You know, you come in, you have the meter beat. Not everybody has that. In fact, I don't know of anybody that does. You've got that. You've got your own personal sales rep that you work with. A lot of people don't have that. You know, like I said, feet on the street reps, they'll come in, they'll say, oh, I'm with card data, and here's my card, and I want to talk to you, and where's your statement, and that's about it. There's no personal to it. If you come in and say, you know, I'm with ACN, our company is Sphere, you know, I have this program meter beat, here's the card that you can talk to your personal sales rep that's always going to be available to you. I'm just going to reach out to you in a couple of days. Just remember her name because that's who's going to call. You've given them a name, and now they have somebody that they can refer to. Versus where these people come in, and they just kind of like, oh, you're not interested, okay, they walk out the door. So you got to personalize it in some way. And you'll figure it out. First couple of times it's going to be hard, no doubt. But after a while, you'll figure out how to communicate with the people, and they'll appreciate that more than you just coming in and trying to do a hard. Okay, but always say, hey, Heidi's going to call you in a couple of days. All right. So each year, Visa and MasterCard do have their increases, like I said, April and October. That's always huge. A lot of times the merchants are told about it. A lot of times they're not. It depends on who their processor is. You know, you want to talk to them about reducing their cost, credit card processing. Everybody comes in and tells them that. Every single rep goes in, I'm going to lower your cost. Every time. They get so sick of hearing that. That's when you present that 250 meter beat and say, here's the guarantee. My company is going to offer you this. If they're not to match or beat what you have, they're going to give you a $250 gift card. You know, so that gives you a little bit more of something to come in and say to them. You know, share your biggest strengths. You know, as a business professional, they value your judgment and recommendations. So trust building rapport and a good relationship, basically what I just said. That's the best thing to do when you're doing that. You know, selling points, price, consultative approach, product. You know, let them know we have product that they need, whether it's terminals, point of sales, mobile, we have it. Service. They have an 800 number. They also have a designated representative that they can reach. And then, of course, the company going through ACN has got a lot of clout. Here again is the meter beat. If you want to print this out and take it with you when you go to these places, why not? And then again, it tells you right here, this is the information about the $3,000. So just don't forget that. Don't give false hope for something that's not going to happen if they don't meet the qualifications. Okay? How to build your business. Basically, we offer, you know, the residuals, the points. This was a 3-point month when they did this one. But again, where I showed you earlier, just to keep up with that, it'll show you where your points are. All right. Here is where I really want everybody to make sure you focus and listen and write down any question you would have, because this is where the most important part of this lead is. You've done the hardest job. You've done the worst, not the worst, but you've done the most of the contact. You have reached out to the customer. You are the face that they've seen. So they trust you now, okay? But you have to try everything you can to get enough trust to have them provide you with a statement. Now, I know that there are going to be businesses that are not going to do that. I get that. I understand it. If you put in your lead notes on the lead that you submit, Heidi, I tried to get a statement. Merchant wants to talk to you first. Perfect. I got it. Now I know where I stand on that lead, okay? But when you get that lead from that customer, I need you to make sure these are key points. Number one, I must know the main contact and the decision maker of this lead. It doesn't do me any good to be in a restaurant and I need to talk to John, who's the manager and the decision maker, but you've given me Sally, the waitress's name. Sally doesn't do anything. Sally's just taking your money and placing your order. When I call Sally, she's going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm not going to get anywhere, and it's going to be one of those leads that I've been trying to call for 3 months, and I've not received anything on it. That's a waste of my time, a waste of your time. Make sure you get the decision maker's name. Make sure you get the correct contact phone number. Please make sure you get the proper and the exact email address. Don't put your email address. You'd be surprised how many IBOs put their email address. I'm not trying to reach you. I'll reach you after I talk to the customer. But I do need their email address. Try to get a copy of a statement. And then make sure you ask, are you using a standard terminal? A standard terminal is one like when you go into Walmart that's right there on the counter that you put your credit card in. Are they using a point of sale? A point of sale is what's on their computer. They have to log into it. They have to go in and run their transactions from a little device that's attached to their computer. That's a point of sale. If they're using a point of sale, I need to know the name of the point of sale. If they're using a standard terminal, is it a VX520? Is it an Ingenico 220? You know, they'll give you the name of it. So make sure you get the equipment information as well. And here's the reason why, is they might be using a terminal that's no longer compatible and we no longer can use it. And I need to know that before I put my sales pitch in to try to sell this account for you so you get your points and your residuals. Because if I call and say, Mr. Merchant, I've looked at your statement and I'm able to save you $45 a month and 40% savings for the year. What kind of terminal do you have? Oh, I have a Junior, a Verifone Junior that's not even existent anymore. Oh, okay, well, now we're going to have to get a new terminal. Well, guess what? My analysis just now went to pot because now they're either going to have to buy a new terminal or they're going to lease a terminal. So now my savings went from $45 to $50 a month to where now I may be costing them months because now they're going to have to get a new terminal. Whereas if I would have known that before I did the analysis, I could have made adjustments to possibly fit that cost in and been able to present something a little bit more enticing. So that's kind of where the importance of that would be, because first I had a savings, now I don't because I didn't know the equipment. So that's kind of hopefully gives you an idea of what I'm referencing when I say that's extremely important to have that information together. Okay? So I have my statement. I have my equipment information. I complete my savings analysis. I go in and I do the side-by-side, and I go in and I have an email that I send to them, and I tell them exactly what their cost is, what my cost is going to be, where their savings is, and all of that, and I get it all together. But I call the merchant first to try to get them on the phone. So then I get the merchant on the phone, and I introduce myself again and say, I've received your statement. Whatever IBO has referred me to you, your name is always included. Do you have a moment to go over this? So we'll go over it, and I'll explain everything to them. Then once I've got them off the phone, I'll send them the email that shows their savings. I never send it before because then I may never get them back on the phone. They may never want to talk to me. So I talk to them first. Then I send an email with that information, and I include you, the IBO, in that email. So now you have all the savings. You see everything that's been available. At that point, I'm working with the merchant. We're going to do a sale. That takes me, if I have everything I need, maybe a day or two to get that completed. Because the one, they're expecting my call. You gave them my name. And two, you provided me with all the equipment and information and everything I needed. So we're looking at a day or two at the most to proceed with that. So that's great. That's a yes or a no. We're going to get a yes or a no within 2 days. Okay? So that's perfect. That's what I want. That's a thumbs up. That's a please. Here's case number 2. Comes in, no statement, no equipment, no email. Can't get the person on the phone. Not real sure what I'm supposed to do with this lead. I call the IBO. IBO's phone number is not even the right number. Send an email comes back. Is that a good lead? Nope. But I still have to work it. So I still have to take my time to continue to try to get a hold of this person because it came in as a lead from an ACN IBO representative, and I can't do anything with it. So now I'm taking my time on a lead that's junk, sorry to say, but that's what it is, versus somebody like y'all who've sent me everything I need, and now I have to focus on the junk more tthan I do the good. So please don't send me junk. All 9 times out of 10, after the third attempt, I'll delete the lead. And then why'd you even bother sending it if I'm in 3 attempts going to delete it? Because it's junk and it's wasting my time. And I don't mean that rude. Please don't take that rudely. But this is my money too. It's affecting me as well, and I'm not showing productivity like I need to with my side, and it hurts me just as much as it hurts you. So quality leads, please. I can't thrive that enough. I would literally say out of the 75 leads that I'm working right now, 50 of them are junk.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Wow. That's a lot. And the reason I know that is because I went through today to see where it was so I could show my boss why I'm not making my numbers. And it's because that's how many of them were junk. So junk doesn't help me either. So junk in the trunk, because that's where it's going. All right. So here's the reason. Why do you ask? Faster process, customer proposal, and more approvals. And the more approvals means the more points. The more points means more residual. That makes you a happy person, and it makes me happy for you. Okay? And again, this kind of just what I went over with everything else. So, we have Facebook as well. You can follow us on there. Do whatever you want to on that. But again, this right here is key. This gives you everything that you need. Here's a brochure. These are things that you can send to your customers. You can send them these things. It tells them all this. So this is what makes you different, is because 90% of your processors do not have access to any of this information that you see right here on this page. Okay? So very, 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 very important. Again, always keep up with latest payment processing, because this is where all the things is that you'll need. Okay? So, that's kind of all of it in a nutshell. I'm here. I want, you're not doing this just for the heck of it either. And, I want, when your leads come in, I want to be able to call you on the phone and say, hey, Rob, guess what? The 3 leads you submitted, they're done, they're approved, they're getting ready to process, which means they're getting ready to activate, which means you're going to get your information from ACN here in a couple of days. I don't know anything about that. I don't do ACN points. If you have a point question, you got to talk to ACN. That's not anything to do with me. But I know that when that comes through and that account's activating, I know you're getting your points and you're ready to go. So that's kind of where we are in there.
Great.
So that's pretty much it. That's all that I have. Again, remember this videos, you can click on this and it'll bring up all of these videos. Don't be like Sally. It shows you things not to do. These are all very informative. I highly recommend watching them and looking at them. They're there for a reason. It will help you. So I, without a doubt, recommend that you go and check that and see.
So this is Sphere, this is Sphere on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it is.
Right. Okay, great.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Heidi.
That's all I have. So we could definitely open it up to any questions anybody would have.
Well, we'll open it up in just a second, but I want to cover one thing, and then we've got a question here. We've got several questions coming in. So I'll ask the questions. Steve Harker. Steve Harker is saying, what if the merchant has a multi-year contract?
Yep, that's a good question. Unfortunately, Sphere does not buy out contracts. I would definitely be real careful and let them know that 90% of your processors do not. The company that I worked for before Sphere, they did buy out contracts, but they also added it basically on the back end of their own contract. So most of them really do not. The only suggestion that I have there is to find out from the customer exactly how much longer they do have on that contract. If they only have a couple of months and if they have to give, let's say, because again, this is real important. Most of your processors will have a 60-day notification requirement in their policy, which means that if their contract is over in January, they have to give notice by October or October or November, depending if it's 60 or 90 days. If they do not, then that contract rolls over. So one, your customer needs to know exactly when their contract expires, how much longer they have on it. If you've got somebody that has a year left, unless the savings is really a big savings, it's not going to benefit them to get out of that contract right now.
Great.
If they only have a couple of months left, then, a lot of times I'll have customers who will just run that out and just pay the monthly minimum fee, which is typically $20 to $25. And they'll just pay that fee just to run that out while they're waiting for their cancellation to go through, and then they're done with it. So key thing is, Steve, is finding out how much longer they have left on that contract to see where it's really going to be and what that cancellation fee is going to be, because we do not cover it.
Great.
I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And Heidi, thank you. That's a great question, a great answer. So, yeah, Steve Harker has another question now. Does Sphere require a contract?
We do. Let me bring something up for you, which you all have access to this. This is going into your portal where you go in to submit your leads and everything. And I would assume everybody knows the pick and plan. So you can go on here and it will have a no contract term. And basically this is where their rates and everything that are on there, I can't change anything. So if a customer wants to do a no contract, these are their rates. This is what it's going to be. With this situation, if they're trying to do the meet or beat and they do not allow me to do the analysis that needs to be done and they're requiring a no contract, then this is what their rates and stuff are going to be. So it's going to take away that meet or beat opportunity, because now they've gone into something that's flat that I can't change. So if their debit qualified rate is at a 129 and this is charging a 159, that's what it's going to be. So it disqualifies that meet or beat program. But if somebody wants to have no contract, then here it is. This is what we can do. This is the terminals that they use with that. This is the pricing, the leasing, everything's available. I highly recommend that everybody take that opportunity to just go in here and look at this section. Again, it's the picker plan. You don't necessarily have to submit your lead from here, but this just gives you an idea, and this select button brings up all of the products that's available with it. So it tells you gateway, here's the gateway, authorized.net. When you go into the no term contract, these are the products on this section that you get with this. So again, I highly recommend going into these, every one of them, and just looking and seeing what's in there, what's available.
Okay.
Sorry,
Great.
I know that was a long answer, but no. I think this is real important to educate yourself on.
That's very helpful. And the other day we were talking about, because we had submitted a lead for a friend at an IBO for his company, and you had used some terminology which I thought was very helpful, because the way we did it with this particular IBO is we found out that his payment processing was through his bank, and so the suggestion was to contact his bank and have the bank send a copy of the itemized merchant statement. Is that the correct term, Heidi?
That is correct, yes.
The itemized merchant statement, and to make sure that monthly statement had activity on it, and then submit that, simply forward that itemized merchant statement that they send him to you, so you can do the proper comparison, and then we can form a proposal. So you could form a proposal. So I think what sometimes people run into, what I've seen people run into, is they'll just submit. They'll say, "Hey, this is my barber. He said, he would like a proposal," but we don't take the time to get a copy of the itemized merchant statement, either from the merchant or from their bank or their payment processor. And so that slows that process down so much because of you having to track them down. And I think we'd all like to get a lot of a lot of sphere proposals out there for all the merchants we do business with, right, guys? That's what we want to do. And so the more, the better, and to have them processed very quickly. And so I found that terminology was important. Itemized merchant statement, have the bank or the processing company send it directly to you via email, let's say, forward it to Heidi, or submit it with the lead or forward it to Heidi. And I want to tell you that we love the fact that Heidi's willing to work with everybody on our team. And all you got to do when you submit a lead through your through the Sphere portion of your personalized website, which I think is probably how most of us would do it, then you in the notes section just put Heidi's name at the top, and that way Heidi, that lead will go to Heidi, and she'll know that she's, the round robin I think they typically use for leads. They'll know to send that to Heidi, so Heidi gets that lead. And I love the fact that
come in round robin. As long as it has my name on it, then they transfer it to me.
So put Heidi Rockhold on there if you want to work with Heidi directly, and I'd highly recommend that because obviously she's got the experience, the know-how. She knows how fast we want to process these leads, and now that she knows that we're educated about how to speed up this process, I know that she's willing to work with us to help us achieve our goals. So make sure you put her name at in the notes section so she gets the lead.
Absolutely.
Anything else I'm missing?
This is the actual request for proposal right here when you would submit your lead and everything. And so just right here is where you would put my name. If you have any special notes, if there's anything, that you recommend, or just anything that's a little bit out of your normal, just put it in that note section. That way, because I read that immediately as soon as the lead comes in to see what it is I need to do with this particular account. So if there's nothing special, then don't worry about it except for my name. But that's definitely where you can put in the equipment information, the point of sale information, anything that because you don't have that access in any other part. Okay. Yeah. When you go down here to choose the file, this is where you can download the statement. You can also send me a statement directly to my email if you're not able to get it to download here. Sometimes I've had that happen where they need to do that. So I can go ahead and give you all my email if you want to go ahead and write it down.
Yes, please.
So it's going to be my first name, HeidiR@spherecommerce.com. So HeidiR@spherecommerce.com.
Great.
So if you have a lead and you don't have a way to, just again, for whatever reason it won't download or whatever, just email it to me, put the name of the lead that you've submitted so I'll know where it goes to, because some of them might have their legal name of their business on their statement, but you've sent the DBA name of the business. So if I don't know, it can be different. It'd be hard for me to know what it goes to. So just let me know for sure which lead it is approached.
Okay.
I do kind of want to touch on what he was talking about where I had requested an itemized copy of the statement. A lot of times your merchants are going to have their statements, but a lot of times they don't get a statement. To me, that's a huge red flag. Why would you not get a statement? What are they hiding? You need a statement every month, whatever. So the reason I ask for itemized is because a lot of times they'll just send like the basics of the statement, which won't go in and provide them with what card types they're getting or anything like that, which is crucial in the analysis. An itemized statement gives a full breakdown of the statement, what kind of cards they've received, how many there were, what the name of the card was, what the interchange rate was on that card. It gives me everything that applies from the regulations of Visa, MasterCard, and Discover. And so that's why an itemized statement is more important than a regular statement, because it's a full breakdown. So
Great.
If you ask your customer, do you have a copy of a statement, and they give you the basic one, that's fine. But if they don't get a copy, then tell them to ask for an itemized breakdown, because at that point we've got something hidden in there somewhere. That's why they're not getting a statement.
Yeah, that's
that kind of helps out.
Yeah, that's really fascinating.
To answer Steve's question again, yes, we do have a contract. It's for 3 years. $495 is the cancellation fee, unless they chose to go with what I showed you earlier on the no contract program. So we have two options. They can have it, or they can go without it, whichever one the merchant decides to choose.
Okay.
It's offered both ways. I make sure they know both of them.
Great. I'm going to open up the meeting to questions to see if anybody has any questions verbally for 5 or 10 minutes, Heidi. And if there are no questions, we'll end the meeting. But if there's some questions you guys can verbalize, I'm just going to unmute everybody. Hopefully we can, just be courteous and let people talk. So everybody's unmuted now. So if anybody has any questions of Heidi, go ahead and ask.
Heidi, Rob Terrell. This form that you've got in front of you here to go through the portal to get to you, would that be something that we could copy and then fill out while we're at the business or talking to them? Is that how, Jeff, is that how you did it? Is that how it should be done?
Yeah, the form is online. The form's online, Rob. It's under Sphere merchant services on your personalized website, your storefront. And Heidi's showing you there is you click to submit a lead, and you've got the choice of either select, send us the lead, which if you put Heidi's name in the notes section, it'll go to her. It only takes about a minute or two to fill that out, but it's all done online. And so what I have done, maybe this answers your question, I went ahead and printed out some copies of that screen. So if I'm with a merchant, I can just fill those out and then bring them back and just input them. And if they're willing to give you a copy, I'll let you take a picture of the copy of their merchant statement. You can do that too and submit it right with it. But you're right. I just take a picture of the screen so I make sure I get all the info, because I think it's important to have the right email address, like Heidi said earlier, the right contact person, their contact phone number. Otherwise, Heidi's having to chase all these people down. If you've got the right info to contact the right person, then once she gets the information, and if we do it right, it'll take 24 hours, the most 48, but usually 24. She can get those proposals submitted very quickly. And that's what we're really trying to do. Did that answer the question, Rob?
Yes, thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a way to print this out, I don't know if it gives you access to be able to do that or not. I'm going to try to see what it does. Yeah, it gives me access to do that.
Yeah,
so,
you can print it.
Why not go ahead and print it, and then you have the information right here in front of you, so that way you don't forget what to ask, and you can just fill that out right there while you're with the customer. And then when you come back, you've got it all written down, and then you can go on to the computer and bring this up into your wizard and go ahead and fill it out there. So that way, I mean, I'll be the first to say, I'll be going along and I'll be doing an application, and it doesn't matter. I will forget to get that routing and account number off their bank account every single time. And I have to call them back and say, oh my gosh, I completely forgot again. I need your banking information. And I literally had to put a big old note on my computer that says, get banking information. It's just something I forget. We get in the conversation, I forget it. So if you have ability to print this out and have it in front of you, now you know everything that you need. And therefore, now, one, you look professional because you've gone in there, you've got your information, and you can write it in. So now they don't think you're just some John just walking out of the street, that doesn't know what they're doing. You have that professional look to yourself. So, now you've built a reputation and you've built that rapport that I was talking about.
Yeah, Heidi, Lynn asked a question. This is the question she has. She says, what about if they're using Shopify? Do you know what Shopify is? I don't know.
Yeah. So there are going to be a lot of your Square, Venmo, PayPal, Shopify. There's going to be a lot of those out there. They're basically called aggregators. So an aggregator is not an actual merchant processing program. They do not have a merchant ID number. They are not protected and followed by the Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Amex network guidelines. So they don't have the protection that they need. They come in and they offer this, you're not going to have any monthly fees. You're not going to have this and that. Some of them, they're good. I'll be the first to tell you that if somebody comes in and they're doing $1,000 a month, if that, they're running maybe 1 or 2 transactions a month, really much for them, you know. And so it's just things that they have. Now, with this particular one, through like you were talking about through Pigment Tech, they're just going to have different features. Like, you know, we'll have a different something that another processor won't have. So the best thing that I do when I get a merchant on the phone is I ask them about their business. What is it that you're doing? What is it that you need? What's going to be the best fit? So a lot of these products, I won't know where they are because there are so many different processors out there. So I educate myself when I talk to your customers to find out what they're using or what they need, and then I'm able to present my program and if I'm able to help them or not. So that's kind of going to be what this Shopify is going to be. I don't know a whole lot about it. I got to see if I talk to them. How important is this program to you? What does it exactly do? Okay, well, my Swipe Simple does the same thing. It's just a different name. Okay. So I have to educate myself when I talk to your customers as well.
Great.
I hope that answered your question.
I think it did.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Lynn, I think.
Online sales, we do WebPass, is what ours is called. It's called WebPass.
WebPass.
Or again, Swipe Simple. Swipe Simple can also be used as just an online sale.
Okay.
If they're doing a shopping cart, when they have a shopping cart, that's called an e-commerce account. And at that time, they're either using a point of sale or they're using authorized.net. Authorized.net is the point of sale to the processor. Authorized.net's in the middle. So those, again, are things I have to find out. If your customer is doing online sales with a shopping cart, then they have to have a gateway in between.
Gotcha. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's. Well, I've learned a lot. I think everybody else has probably learned a lot. I'm going to ask everybody if they have any other questions, and otherwise, then we can let you go. We really appreciate you taking the time, investing the time with us today. Anybody else have any other questions, or are we good? Was this helpful? Thumbs up. Yes. I think it was fantastic. It was helpful for me. So, anyway, Heidi.
Well, just remember, you know, I am available. Like I said, it's sometimes hard to get a hold of me. I get that. I apologize up front. I have fine. I'm sitting in an office. I'm actually at my horse farm. So my horses are outside the door. So I'm surprised you haven't heard any screaming yet, because they're probably hearing me wondering why I'm still here in dark. You know, I'm here all day long most of the time. But I have one phone line, and unfortunately sometimes my internet phone goes down because I'm out in the middle of nowhere in Kentucky. And so I can sometimes be hard to reach. But the email is the best way. Please send me an email. Let me know if you have a question. If there's a time you need me to call you, I know there's a lot to learn. Again, I've been doing this for a long time. Again, it's a saturated industry that these people sometimes just don't want to talk to you. But I truthfully believe that if you build a rapport with them, and if that first time you go, you just don't get a good vibe from them, don't push it. Just walk out, say, you know what, thanks for your time. It doesn't seem like it's a good time for you. I feel confident enough about my job and my business and what I can offer you. I'm going to come back in a month when I think you've got some more time, and let's see if we can talk then. Yeah. You know, they'll respect that. I can't tell you how many times somebody will ask me a question. I'll be like, I don't even have a clue what you're talking about, but I'm going to find out and I'm going to call you back. And they appreciate that. Sure. Or I have customers that I'll be like, Mr. Merchant, I can't save you anything. I can match what you have, but it's truthfully not going to save you any money. And 6 months down the road, they'll call me and they'll be like, you ain't going to believe this. My processor went up on my rates and blah, 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 blah. Can we talk again? Absolutely, I can talk to you again. Right. So just because you go in their door the first time and you don't think that they really wanted to talk to you, go back again down the road. I promise you they'll talk to you sooner or later. Wow.
Well, it's a lot of good stuff, a lot of wisdom. We appreciate all your time, and we've learned a lot, and we will make use of what you've taught us, because I think we all want to build up a lot of Sphere customers, and and we know now that we've got somebody that really really has their heart into it, and is smart and can be a great partner in terms of how we can help our merchant friends. One thing, I think most of us would just want to focus on the merchants that we do business with on a regular basis. So these are relationships and friends of ours that own small companies, small restaurants, barbers or beauticians and that kind of thing. And so I think that those are really the perfect clientele for what Sphere is and what we want to do. So Heidi, again, thank you so much. We appreciate it. It's 2 hours later where you're at, so we took up a little chunk of your evening, and we appreciate you investing time with us tonight. Thank you.
Well, if you guys are going to Long Beach, if anybody's going, like I said, I won't be there, but definitely make them give you my business cards.
Okay, we'll do it.
They may not have them on the table and say, we're here to get Heidi's business card. None it now.
Hey, Heidi.
But I appreciate everybody as well, and let's year next year, and let's get this going. And my goal is to do everything I can for you guys as well. It's not just one-sided. It's not just about me. It's about helping you get done what you need to get to. So
okay.
I'm here for you at all times.
Oh, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a great evening, Heidi.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you, Heidi.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye.
great thing.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah.